I know it's not going to be easy for me, but think how tough things are for them.
I could have never handled this at your age. This is really cool that you're doing this.
He was one of the most recognizable faces of the 90s, a teen idol who captured hearts across the globe. But at the height of his career, he walked away from it all, leaving fans stunned. Why did Jonathan Taylor Thomas step out of the spotlight? What pushed him to leave behind the fame and fortune that so many dream of? Jonathan Taylor Thomas was born Jonathan Taylor Weiss on September 8, 1981, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. He grew up in what seemed like a typical middle-class family. His mother, Claudine, worked as a social worker and personal manager, while his father, Stephen, was an industrial sales manager. His childhood appeared steady and ordinary, but beneath the surface, cracks were beginning to form that would eventually shape his journey in unexpected ways. When Jonathan was just 4 years old, the family relocated to Sacramento, California. It was a big change, and one that would open doors to opportunities no one could have anticipated. In Sacramento, Jonathan's natural charisma and photogenic appearance caught the attention of local talent scouts. By the age of 6, he had already started modeling and appearing in commercials, his first steps into the world of entertainment. These early projects might seem small, but they revealed something special about Jonathan, a natural ease in front of the camera that separated him from countless other young hopefuls. It wasn't long before bigger opportunities came knocking. His early exposure to the industry laid the groundwork for what would become an extraordinary, yet challenging career. At the age of 10, Jonathan landed the role that would make him a household name, Randy Taylor, on the hit sitcom Home Improvement. Premiering in 1991, the show became an instant success, and Jonathan, as the witty and endearing middle son of the Taylor family, quickly became a fan favorite. He seemed destined for stardom, but the pressures of fame were just beginning to take hold. While his career was skyrocketing, Jonathan's family life was becoming increasingly unstable. The move to California had been a fresh start, but it couldn't save his parents' marriage. Around the time Jonathan's fame began to soar, his parents' relationship began to crumble. By the early 1990s, their divorce was finalized, leaving Jonathan to navigate the emotional upheaval of a broken home while adjusting to life in the public eye. Jonathan rarely spoke about the impact of his parents' divorce, but it's clear it shaped his childhood. Balancing the demands of a burgeoning acting career with the challenges of a fractured family life was no small feat. As the cameras rolled, he presented a polished professional image, delivering performances that captivated audiences. Off-screen, however, he was just a young boy dealing with the very real consequences of his parents' separation. This duality, being a beloved public figure while quietly managing personal struggles, defined Jonathan's early years in Hollywood. The pressures of stardom were amplified by the emotional weight of his family's challenges. Yet, through it all, he carried himself with remarkable poise and professionalism, a testament to his resilience and maturity at such a young age. By the mid-1990s, Jonathan had become more than just a sitcom star. He was a cultural icon, with roles in beloved films like The Lion King and Tom and Huck. To the outside world, he appeared to have it all: fame, fortune, and a bright future ahead. But behind the scenes, the reality was far more complicated. The challenges of his personal life, coupled with the relentless demands of his career, were already beginning to take their toll. Jonathan's rise to fame wasn't just a story of success. It was also a story of resilience. His ability to navigate the complexities of family, fame, and adolescence under the intense scrutiny of Hollywood was nothing short of extraordinary. As his journey continued, the pressures of stardom would only grow, setting the stage for the difficult choices that would later define his life. By the early 1990s, Jonathan Taylor Thomas had solidified himself as one of Hollywood's brightest young stars. His role as Randy Taylor on Home Improvement wasn't just a breakthrough. It catapulted him into the stratosphere of teen idoldom. The show became a cultural phenomenon, and Jonathan's quick wit and charm made him a fan favorite. Viewers adored his relatable yet clever portrayal of the middle-tailor son, and soon his fame extended far beyond the small screen. While his success on Home Improvement was undeniable, Jonathan didn't stop there. In 1994, he lent his voice to one of Disney's most iconic characters, young Simba, in The Lion King. The film became an instant classic, cementing Jonathan's status as a versatile actor with a talent for captivating audiences of all ages. Following this, he starred in live-action films like Tom and Huck and Man of the House, proving his ability to transition from television to the silver screen seamlessly. Yet, behind the scenes, Jonathan was juggling a schedule that would be overwhelming for anyone, let alone a teenager. Acting wasn't just about showing up and delivering lines. It required hours of preparation, long days on set, and endless promotion. For Jonathan, this workload was paired with the demands of school and the desire to maintain some semblance of a personal life. He was essentially living two lives, one as a rising Hollywood star and the other as a regular kid trying to keep up with homework and friends. The physical toll of his demanding schedule began to show early on. Jonathan suffered from severe migraines during his time on Home Improvement. These weren't just minor headaches. Migraines are debilitating, with symptoms like intense pain, nausea, and sensitivity to light and sound. Working under bright studio lights and enduring long hours only made things worse. Despite this, Jonathan rarely let his struggles affect his work. He continued to deliver performances that were polished and professional, even when he was battling through the pain. The mental toll was equally challenging. Fame isn't easy to navigate, especially for a teenager still figuring out who they are. Jonathan was under constant scrutiny, both from the public and the media. The pressure to maintain a perfect image while growing up in the spotlight created an almost impossible situation. As much as fans adored him, the attention could feel overwhelming and invasive. One particularly infamous moment occurred during an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in 1998. Jay, known for his probing and sometimes uncomfortable questions, brought up rumors about Jonathan's personal life. The question was deeply inappropriate, especially for a young star. Despite the awkwardness of the situation, Jonathan handled it with remarkable poise. He laughed it off, responding with a mix of humor and grace, a testament to his professionalism even in the face of invasive questions. The tabloids were relentless during this time, eager to speculate about Jonathan's personal relationships and life off camera. The constant gossip and invasive headlines added another layer of stress to his already demanding life. For many young stars, this level of attention becomes unbearable, and Jonathan was no exception. He later spoke about how difficult it was to balance public expectations with his own need for privacy and authenticity. Despite these challenges, Jonathan's ability to maintain composure was nothing short of extraordinary. He continued to charm audiences with his performances, never letting the weight of public scrutiny show. Yet, the reality behind the scenes was far from the polished image seen on screen. The migraines, the packed schedules, and the pressure to meet fan expectations were all taking a toll, creating cracks in the seemingly perfect life of a teen idol. Jonathan's time in the spotlight during these years was a double-edged sword. On one hand, he achieved a level of success that most actors can only dream of. On the other, the physical and emotional demands of his career were becoming increasingly difficult to bear. As his fame grew, so did the challenges, setting the stage for the pivotal decisions he would later make about his career and his life. In 1998, as Home Improvement prepared for its final season, Jonathan Taylor Thomas made a decision that stunned fans and cast members alike. At the height of the show's success, he announced that he would not be returning for the farewell season. For many, it seemed unimaginable that Randy Taylor, a character so integral to the series, would simply disappear without closure. Fans were left disappointed, and even members of the cast struggled to come to terms with his choice. Tim Allen, the show's leading star, expressed confusion over Jonathan's departure. He publicly admitted he didn't fully understand why the young actor chose to step away at such a pivotal moment. Patricia Richardson, who played Jill Taylor, shared similar sentiments, calling the situation a sore spot and noting the ripple effect his absence had on the series' conclusion. The decision was controversial, sparking mixed reactions from the Home Improvement family and its loyal viewers. For Jonathan, however, the decision to leave wasn't impulsive. It was deeply personal and carefully considered. After nearly a decade of intense work schedules and unrelenting pressure, he realized that his mental and physical health were at stake. He needed a break, not just from Home Improvement, but from the relentless grind of Hollywood. Looking back, he reflected on the toll the industry had taken on him. In a candid statement, he explained, "Had I stayed at the show and continued at the pace I was going, I would have put myself in an early grave." At just 18 years old, Jonathan made the courageous choice to step away from a lucrative career and focus on what mattered most to him: his education and personal well-being. Unlike many young stars who ride the wave of fame as long as they can, Jonathan had the foresight to prioritize his future over immediate success. He understood that there was life beyond Hollywood, and that pursuing his passions outside of acting could bring a sense of fulfillment he hadn't yet experienced. Shortly after leaving the show, Jonathan enrolled at Harvard University, a move that took many by surprise. His decision to trade red carpets for lecture halls was a clear indication of his desire to rebuild his identity away from the public eye. At Harvard, he studied philosophy and history, immersing himself in a world far removed from the glitz and glamour of the entertainment industry. It was a time of intellectual growth and self-discovery, allowing him to explore interests he had long put on hold. But Jonathan's academic journey didn't stop there. After his time at Harvard, he crossed the Atlantic to attend the University of St. Andrews in Scotland, one of the world's oldest and most prestigious universities. For 2 years, he lived and studied in the quaint historic town, embracing the anonymity and tranquility that came with being far from Hollywood. St. Andrews offered him the chance to reconnect with himself, free from the constant scrutiny of fame. These years spent in academia were transformative for Jonathan. They allowed him to step back from the pressures of stardom and reflect on who he was beyond the roles he played on screen. For the first time in years, he wasn't Jonathan Taylor Thomas, the teen idol. He was simply Jonathan, a young man navigating the complexities of adulthood like anyone else. This period of his life was about reclaiming his narrative and discovering a path that felt authentic to him. While many fans struggled to understand why Jonathan would walk away from a career that seemed to promise endless success, his decision made perfect sense to those who truly listened. He wasn't abandoning Hollywood out of disdain or bitterness. He was choosing to prioritize his health, happiness, and education over the fleeting allure of fame. It was a bold move that spoke to his maturity and his unwavering commitment to living life on his own terms. Jonathan's departure from Home Improvement and subsequent transition to academia marked a turning point in his life. It was a chance to escape the relentless spotlight and rediscover the joys of learning and personal growth. Though his absence from Hollywood left a void for fans, it also served as a powerful reminder of the importance of balance and self-care, even in the face of overwhelming success. After years of silence, Jonathan Taylor Thomas surprised fans by reappearing in Hollywood between 2013 and 2015. He made a series of guest appearances on the sitcom Last Man Standing, reuniting with his former Home Improvement co-star Tim Allen. The moments were nostalgic for fans, offering a glimpse of the actor they had adored in the 1990s. But this wasn't just a casual return. Jonathan was using this opportunity to explore a new side of the entertainment world. Behind the scenes, Jonathan wasn't simply revisiting acting. He was cultivating a growing interest in directing. While on the set of Last Man Standing, he shadowed director John Pasquin, soaking in the process of storytelling from a different perspective. It was clear that he was drawn to the creative control and artistic expression that comes with working behind the camera. Tim Allen later revealed that Jonathan had a keen eye for direction, describing him as thoughtful and methodical in his approach. Yet Jonathan's return wasn't without its challenges. After such a long hiatus from Hollywood, stepping back in front of the camera wasn't easy. Tim Allen noted that Jonathan seemed noticeably nervous on set, a stark contrast to the confident young actor audiences remembered from his days on Home Improvement. The industry had changed, and Jonathan faced the daunting task of reconnecting with audiences while adjusting to the fast-paced world of modern television. Despite his initial apprehension, fans were thrilled to see him back, even if only briefly. His guest appearances sparked a wave of excitement and speculation. Could this be the beginning of a full-fledged comeback? Many hoped that Jonathan's time on Last Man Standing would reignite his acting career, or even launch him as a director. For those who had followed his journey from teen idol to academic scholar, it felt like the perfect next chapter. But just as quickly as he returned, Jonathan disappeared again. After his final guest appearance in 2015, he retreated from both acting and directing. No major roles or projects followed, leaving fans puzzled and curious about his sudden withdrawal. For someone who had expressed interest in pursuing a career behind the camera, the abrupt end to his Hollywood re-emergence was unexpected. Speculation about his second retreat swirled. Did the pressures of fame resurface, reminding him of the challenges that had driven him away years earlier? Or was his departure a deliberate choice, driven by a desire for privacy and a more grounded life? Jonathan has always been private, and his lack of explanation only deepened the mystery surrounding his exit. Perhaps Jonathan's brief return was never meant to be permanent. It's possible he simply wanted to dip his toes back into the industry to see how it felt after years away. Or maybe his passion for directing didn't outweigh his need for a quieter, more private life. Whatever the reason, his retreat once again highlighted the complexities of navigating fame and the toll it can take, even on the most resilient individuals. Jonathan's second departure left fans with more questions than answers. Was it the industry's demands that drove him away, or had he found peace in living a life outside the spotlight? His story, though incomplete in the eyes of his admirers, serves as a reminder that success isn't always defined by staying in the public eye. For Jonathan, true fulfillment might lie in pursuing his passions quietly, on his own terms, far from the pressures of Hollywood. While many continue to hope for another return, Jonathan Taylor Thomas's brief comeback stands as a testament to his ability to choose his own path. Whether he returns to the spotlight or remains out of view, his journey resonates as one of resilience, introspection, and the courage to prioritize what truly matters. Jonathan Taylor Thomas's decision to leave Hollywood at the height of his fame remains one of the most significant acts of self-preservation in the entertainment industry. His story is a powerful reminder of the sacrifices and challenges that come with child stardom. For many young actors, the bright lights of Hollywood can mask the immense pressures behind the scenes. But Jonathan had the insight and bravery to step away, prioritizing his well-being over the relentless demands of fame. Growing up under the watchful eyes of millions, Jonathan faced challenges that most people could never imagine. The long hours, public scrutiny, and pressure to maintain a flawless image often come at a steep cost. For Jonathan, that cost was too high. His decision to leave wasn't about turning his back on acting. It was about reclaiming his life and rediscovering who he was outside of the spotlight. It was a choice that took immense courage and self-awareness, especially for someone so young. By prioritizing his mental health and personal growth, Jonathan sent a powerful message. He showed that success doesn't have to come at the expense of happiness and balance. In a world where child stars are often exploited until they burn out, Jonathan's decision to take control of his narrative stands out as a rare and admirable act. It's a testament to his resilience and his refusal to let the industry define him. Despite his departure, Jonathan's legacy has endured. Fans who grew up watching him on Home Improvement and in beloved films like The Lion King continue to hold him in high regard. His ability to capture the hearts of audiences with his talent and charisma left a lasting impression. Even years after stepping away from the public eye, the fascination with his life and choices hasn't waned. People remain curious about what he's been up to and whether he might one day return to the spotlight. This enduring fan admiration speaks volumes about the impact Jonathan had during his time in Hollywood. He wasn't just a talented actor, he was a relatable figure who brought warmth and authenticity to his roles. His decision to leave at his peak only deepened the mystery and respect surrounding his journey. For many, Jonathan represents the idea that it's okay to walk away from something, even when it seems like the world expects you to stay. While his life outside of Hollywood remains private, his story continues to resonate as a poignant reminder of the pressures that come with fame. Jonathan's journey highlights the importance of setting boundaries, even in the face of immense public expectation. It's a story of a young man who refused to let the industry dictate his life, choosing instead to carve out a path that felt true to himself. The unanswered questions surrounding Jonathan's life add to the intrigue. What has he been doing all these years? Has he found the fulfillment he sought outside of acting? And will he ever return to the world that once embraced him so wholeheartedly? These mysteries only deepen the connection fans feel to him, keeping his name alive in conversations about Hollywood's most captivating stories. Jonathan Taylor Thomas's legacy is one of resilience, reflection, and independence. His journey serves as a reminder that fame isn't the ultimate measure of success. Instead, success is about living authentically and making choices that honor one's own well-being. Whether or not he ever steps back into the public eye, Jonathan's story will continue to inspire and remind us of the importance of prioritizing what truly matters in life. Jonathan Taylor Thomas's journey is a testament to resilience and self-awareness. From his meteoric rise as a beloved teen idol to his bold decision to step away from the limelight, his story is one of navigating immense pressure and choosing a path that prioritized personal well-being over public expectations. In an industry that often consumes its young stars, Jonathan's ability to recognize his limits and take control of his narrative stands out as a powerful example of strength and maturity. As we've explored, his decision wasn't just about leaving a career. It was about finding balance and meaning in a world that constantly demanded more of him. From his early days on Home Improvement to his pursuit of higher education and eventual return to the industry, Jonathan's choices reflect a deep understanding of what it takes to preserve one's sense of self. He showed that walking away isn't failure. It can be the ultimate act of courage. But his story raises some thought-provoking questions. What would you have done in his position? Could you have left behind the fame, fortune, and admiration to seek a quieter, more fulfilling life? Would you have the strength to prioritize your mental health and personal happiness over the expectations of millions? Jonathan's life also asks us to consider the nature of happiness. Can true happiness be found away from the spotlight? For Jonathan, it seems the answer was yes. By stepping back, he was able to rebuild his life on his own terms, away from the constant gaze of cameras and the relentless cycle of public scrutiny. His decision to remain out of the public eye even now is a testament to his commitment to living authentically and with intention. While his story is still unfinished, Jonathan Taylor Thomas remains an enduring figure, not because of the fame he walked away from, but because of the values he chose to embrace. His journey reminds us that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is prioritize yourself, even when it defies what the world expects of you. As we reflect on his path, we're left with a story that inspires and provokes introspection. Jonathan Taylor Thomas may have left the spotlight, but his legacy continues to shine brightly, reminding us all of the importance of living life in a way that feels true to who we are.